All right, hello everybody, and welcome to this video. Today we're going to take a look at two things. We got the MiiCoffee Apex version 2. That's the one that comes in like the kind of gray version, which I think looks a bit nicer. And we're also going to take a look at the Eureka 065 AP all-purpose grinder. Both of these were sent to me by the respective companies, just so you know. And now, please let me know if you wouldn't mind. Write in the comments, how is the sound? How is the picture? I hope that the sound is good and that the frame rate is all right. So we're going to get started here in just a moment. And before we do, why don't you do me one more favor and just let me know where you're watching from. And give the video a like to kind of push it to more people if you like. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put the Eureka down first. We're going to do the coffee machine. Then we're going to do the grinder. We'll let the coffee machine get commissioned and warm up. And then during that time, we're going to open this guy here. So let's just have a quick look at the box, see if there's anything that we can notice ahead of time. All right, it does give you some dimensions here. So you got the item size, how heavy it is. That's a little over 11 kilos, pretty big machine, a little bit on the heavy side. And 1700 to 2000 watts. That's quite a bit of power it's drawing there. Water tank 1.7 liters and boiler size 550 milliliters. So that is a big stainless steel boiler. And that's pretty much like the main advantage that this has over something like a Gaggia Classic Pro. Bigger boiler, separate boiler to the thermoblock that does the steaming. So let's just open this guy up one time. And thank you guys for being with me. I do like doing these unboxings with you guys. That makes it more fun for me. So let's see what we got here. Oh, what is this? Okay, so it looks like we got a box on top, probably with some tools in it. So we got instructions in there. We got the portafilter like this. This is a 58 millimeter portafilter, and it's got the same kind of plastic handle that we're used to with the Apex. Comes with a tamper. The tamper is plastic. The base reminds me of something like what you would get with like a Breville Barista Express, but it's quite light and it feels kind of cheap. Then we've got a single disc, or a single basket, I should say, with a back flushing disc. And we got a little scoop. All right, let's put that stuff off to the side. You have a nice tamping mat from MiiCoffee. Okay, nice. Good morning, all you guys. This is quite the challenge. There we go. What's what? We gotta turn it like this. Let's do the reveal. So here we go. I will say one thing. When you open the box, it's got, it smells kind of like fiberglass resin. If you guys know what that is, have you ever built like a subwoofer to put in your car? We used to do that when I was growing up, and it was really cool. And if you would brush the inside of the subwoofer box with fiberglass resin and let it harden, then you would get more, louder sound, deeper bass. It was nice. Kind of smells like that, I'm guessing, from the packing materials. All right. So right off the bat, I mean, I've had an Apex before, the version 1, and I was impressed with the feature set for the price that you're paying. Of course, it doesn't have any heritage. This actually comes originally, I believe, from Gemelli, some Chinese manufacturer that is quite popular over there in Asia. But in general, there's really no face behind the brand. These are rebranded from Turin, from MiiCoffee, from I think Giota, and so many different brands. So there's no heritage involved, but for the price you pay, you get a lot for your money. Anyhow, what I do like is the paint job on it. The previous one was just a plain stainless steel, and it just kind of looked like any other ordinary espresso machine. This one has got a little bit more character to it, you could say, because of the paint job. So this is the side there. Show you guys the other side and then the back. So that's what the back looks like there. Pretty much, if you've seen the version 1, version 2 is the same, but with a paint job and with a settable overpressure valve. So you got like a little thumb wheel right here, and using that thumb wheel, you can set the pressure. So that's very cool. And I would say let's just kind of remove some of the stickers in that, fill it up with water, and see if we can get this guy commissioned. My idea behind the video is to get this commissioned and to get the grinder commissioned and just make a shot as a kind of demo. So let me peel this stuff off here. It's not the biggest drip tray, and it is a little bit wobbly. I mean, it's definitely on the lighter side. So it's plastic on the back. It's got kind of a wobbly red indicator here, and the casing is like thin metal. So it's nothing special really with the drip tray, but it works. All right. So what I'm gonna do first, and I do recommend that everybody do this, is when you get something new, you want to rinse out the water tank and rinse out also your portafilter. So I'm gonna go do that. But before I do, I got a little visitor here. Come here, Lizzie. Come here. Come here. Oh, she ran away. So let me go rinse this out real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. All rinsed out, good to go. Any discount available? I don't know about that, if the V2 is discounted. The V1 is pretty heavily discounted. I've seen them on the MiiCoffee website, I think, for like under 400. I think it's under $400 or euros. Anyhow, that's what the basket looks like right there. And that's the inside of the portafilter. So it's pretty nice. Pretty nicely made. If I had to guess, I think that could be stainless steel. Don't know for sure. But the handle being plastic, unfortunately, does cheapen it a little bit. Now, to make things a little faster for the video, and because we need a lot of water in here, 1.7 liters. I'm not going to use filtered water today. I'm going to use distilled water. So this is 5 liters, but distilled water doesn't have any minerals in it. It's kind of a good thing because that's going to wreak less havoc on the inside of the machine as far as scale is concerned, but you do need some minerals. So I got these from Third Wave Water. Each one of these little, they call them sticks, is for 2 liters. So I'm just going to toss 2 of these guys in here. That would be for 4 liters. This is a 5-liter bottle, but that's all right. You can dilute the concentration just a little bit. So I'm going to shake this up and put some water in the tank, start up the machine, and get it commissioned. And feel free to pose any questions. I am able to read what you guys are writing on the screen. So if you got questions about this machine or about the Eureka coming up, just let me know. And also, you guys can let me know, do you use filtered water? Do you use third wave water? How do you run it? Okay. So, stick this onto the back of the machine. Come on. There we go. Plug it in. And let's see what happens. So we got a little sticker on here too. I'm gonna take that off and just press the power button. It should start filling. I'm glad you like the Magnifica Plus. Yeah, I quite like it too. Oh, what is it saying? E6. Well, that's interesting. Let's just see if we can figure it out here. What E6 is. I kind of want it just to fill. Let's see what it's doing now. Okay, now it looks like it's heating up. And I'm going to try to just draw some water out through the brew group. All right, there we go. Okay. That looks to be primed, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and put the portafilter in here. And then I guess we can go ahead and let this guy warm up, and I'm going to move on to the Eureka. So let's do that. Okay, so the unboxing of the Eureka is just a little bit less, or it's a little more anticlimactic, you could say. It just has an outer cardboard box like that, and then you're already on the inside, so there is no actual product box. Comes with this guy here for as a bellows. We'll see what this is in a moment. And what else have we got in here? Oh, there right there's the bean hopper. Okay, so that's a cute little bean hopper. It's got a metal flap on there. I don't think I've seen that on any of my machines yet, so that's pretty cool. Also comes with a dosing cup. This looks like a polished stainless cup here. And of course, the most interesting thing is the grinder. It's pretty heavy. So that's pretty. You guys know me. You know I've got a bit of a bias for Eureka because I like their products. I also happen to like Italy a lot, and you know they're nice to work with too at Eureka. So okay, it says tested with coffee. You may see some coffee grounds in here. I just like Eureka. You know, before, let's say 5 or 6 years ago, this is really the first model, the Specialita, that was relatively affordable and gave a great result. And everything else was more expensive back then or just wasn't that good of a grinder. These are made in Italy. I like the design. I think they're very stately. And so I'm happy to see that they came up with this one because the 065 is, first of all, it's going to compete with the DF64. It's what's nice about it is that it's got an all-purpose burr inside, so you can use it for espresso and for pour over, and we'll just see how well it works for both. And they finally included a nice update on here, which is the counter wheel. So you can figure out your setting much more easily with that counter wheel. And again, comes with a nice powerful motor and made in Italy. So the sucker is 5.6 kilos. It's like over 11 pounds. It's just nice, stately, high quality, and that's the reason that I like Eureka. So let me come over. Show you the counter wheel there. That's what that looks like. Pretty cool. Okay. It's the Eureka. The 065 is the top plate. And this is the bottom. Okay. So all right, so let's get these two things commissioned. What I do think is kind of funny about the Eureka, the new models, they got the 065, they got the Single Dose Pro, and then they got a Libra 65. What's amusing is I've actually measured the burrs, and the burrs are closer to 64 millimeters. So it was the same thing though with the Specialita. They call it a 55, but it's actually 54 millimeter burr in there. So that's kind of important to note. All right. All right. So here we go. There's no display on this one. There is an on and off button here on the side. So yeah, that's all it is. Once you put your beans in, press the start button, it goes to town. Okay. So let's get this assembled. As I mentioned, it comes with this little catch cup. And it's got like a, I don't know, kind of like a lid that you put on top. And I guess you can stick the whole thing in there like that. Oh, yep, just like that. All right, it's already set up. That's kind of nice. So that's how we got that set up. And then I guess you just stick this bean hopper on top. Oh, just like that. Okay. And if we want, we can install the bellows. Now, what I appreciate about the 065 is they tried to make it really cheap. So, I mean, for Eureka standards, it's quite an affordable price for what they're offering. 64 millimeter burr inside, and yeah, it's supposed to be low retention grinder. We'll see just how low retention that it is. I'm gonna just turn it on once and see where we're at. So I'm at 1 on the dial and 3. So if I go to 0, now I'm at, oh, to me it looks like the burrs. To me, it sounds like the burrs start chirping at 16. So that would actually be my reference point. I'm at 0 on the counter, and they touch at 16. And normally for espresso, in my past experience, you're like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 of these notches away from 0 to start off with for espresso with a relatively fresh bean. So, okay, I'm gonna try it right there. I'm at 0, so that's about 3.5 off of 16. And that's what we're gonna use to give it a shot. By the way, this fork here can be adjusted. It's just got a little toolless screw here. It's not knurled, but it's got like little ridges, so you can easily unscrew it and tighten it so that you can make an adjustment there. But I'm gonna keep it at this height here so that I can use the catch cup and see how that works. Oh, it's actually feeling pretty hot on top of here. All right, so that's good. I'd say let's just make an espresso and see what it looks like. So here we go. I'm using these Martyr Mule beans today. These are what I generally use, M Espresso. It's a very good bean, 80% Arabica, 20% Robusta. Gives me really nice chocolate flavors. It's pretty smooth and balanced. I like this bean, and it's fresh. So I figure I'm going to go ahead and put links for this stuff in the description if you want to check out these beans or third wave water or this MHW3 bomber tool I'm going to use because this is makes things pretty easy. Just check the video description down below. All right, let's see how this works. So since they got this gate here on the side, you can hot start it even. Let's just do a hot start one time. That's taken quite a while. I have the feeling it's gonna be too fine probably. Yeah. Oh, in fact, it's not even coming out. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what is going on. Uh-huh. Okay, well, that's interesting. Now, the adjustment system here with this dial may be different than from what my experience was. So I'm guessing that's why it was too fine and nothing was getting through before. But, oh well, let's just see what happens. Could be that nothing comes out, or it could be decent. We'll see. And I do think that it ended up swallowing some, which happens with all new grinders. When you put beans in there, you know, some get stuck in the teeth, some gets stuck in the nose. So I probably didn't get, I forgot to measure it. I probably didn't get, we'll do it this way. I'm going to tear out the scale. So I probably didn't get 16 out. I'm guessing I got probably 14 and a half out. But this is just to test the machine out, and then we'll see if we can get a little closer with the next shot. I'm just gonna put it into this orange cup for now. Well, it's coming out. So I like to run a couple of shots anyway, really before tasting anything with a brand new machine. So, but that tells me, okay, it's a bit of an underdose, and I don't think it was fine enough. So we are gonna adjust this just a little bit finer. We're at 16. I'm gonna go back down to, let's say, 10. And what is that? Let's measure the portafilter and see what we had for grinds in there. Okay. Yeah, 14.9. So what we had in was 14.9. What I put in here was 16.3. So we lost about 1.4 grams with the initial shot. Now I think with the next one's going to be a bit better. So there we go. Let's try again with another 16 grams. Oh. Okay, 16. And here in the dial, I'm at 1. And as far as revolutions go, and I'm at 10 here on the larger dial. We're going to try a hot start again. And here we go. It's kind of fun to pound on that thing. So what did we get out? 15.5. So that time it swallowed 0.5 grams. I think I could fit more in this basket. This looks more like probably an 18-gram basket for this bean. But again, I'm just kind of in the initial stage here. I don't know how much for beans that I want to waste while I'm just getting this initially set up. So can I fit a cup plus a scale on the Apex? I kind of don't think so. Not exactly. You can fit it, but everything is still touching, so it's not going to measure accurately. That's too bad. I'm just going to take it out. What is nice, and I appreciate on every machine that's got this, is the shot timer. So that's actually not looking too bad for a second try as far as the flow rate goes. Stop it there. 23 seconds and 43 grams out. So that's what the espresso looks like. Number 2. I do think I need to updose this a bit. Probably put 18 grams in there. But I'm just going to take a sip. Why not? Pretty good. Okay. All right, so next what I'm going to do is we're going to put an 18-gram dose in and see how that looks. And then I think I will use this to make a cappuccino, and we'll call it good. First, I want to let some water through here and clean up my workspace. Okay. Now, if you guys don't mind, again, I like it if you write to me from where you're watching. Are you watching from Canada, from the States, from somewhere in Europe, or maybe even Australia? Write it down and please give the video a thumbs up or write a comment. I like that a lot. I check out all the comments after the video. So it might be kind of fun to try this with the bottomless portafilter. I can't really show you guys that, but I'd like to see it. All right. So that was shot number 2. I'm gonna do shot number 3 with the same grind setting because actually the flow rate looked all right despite being a little bit underdosed. So I'm gonna try 18 grams in and see how that looks. Does this fit? Oh, very nice. Okay, look at that. This brand new Sage Breville portafilter with the beautiful wooden handle on it. That sucker fits in here. That's nice. So we're gonna try that out one time. Cool. All right. So as I mentioned, let's tear out, put 18 grams in there. Do you guys like Borat too? I just think he's really funny. I know it's already kind of old, but I like it. So, okay, 18.1 grams. Here we go. Do another hot start. Ready, set, go. Australia, nice. $17.9 that time. Okay, put 18.0 in, 17.9 out. So now we're getting something closer to retentionless, basically. 0.1 gram, that's about the best that you can expect. And I would say that's a better amount there in the basket. That just makes it really, really easy with that distributor. I'm going to give this sucker a tamp. I oftentimes forget to bring a tamping station down, so got to improvise. So now, I think what I will do is I'm going to tape the extraction with my phone, and I can show you guys then on the camera afterwards. How does that sound? So let's see what it looks like. Oh, that's too fast. That's too fast. Oh, sloppy. Okay. I gotta grind a bit coarser than that. Now the basket I'm using in this one is a little different, of course. So that's going to play a role. Do I have enough beans for a fourth? Let's see, why not? Bring it all the way down to 7. Oops. Tear it out. Dang it. I ran out of beans. Okay, 12.7 grams is all I got left of that bean. That was a really fast shot. I'm just going to give it a little taste anyhow. I mean, the flavor is pretty decent. It's just got a little tinge of sourness in the beginning. But in the end, there's a fair amount of bittersweet chocolate. The mic is right here, by the way, and the mic just kind of picks up whatever's in this direction. It does pick up the machines too, but it's going to pick up the voice the best. So, you know what? I'm going to have to get some more beans. We're going to do one last shot, and then I'm going to steam some milk. I have to get the milk anyway, so. There's my milk. And what I got next is Dinzler Il Gustoso. So Dinzler is a really popular roastery and also restaurant and cafe in Bavaria by the mountains. They make really good, like very consistent coffee beans. I got this recently as a present. So thank you, Regina, for that present. I've used these often before, and the profile is quite similar as far as, you know, where you're going to set the grind on them. It's also, I think, similar in the amount of Robusta to Arabica. And if I can tell you guys anything, the most important thing when you're making espresso or coffee, you need freshly roasted beans. A lot of times people are wondering why their extractions don't taste good, why they don't get any crema. You're just not going to get any crema, and you're going to lose a lot of aroma as time goes on. So let's try this guy, 18.1 grams in, and I'll come show you guys what the beans look like. Focus. Focus. There we go. So these are what I would call also like a medium dark roast. There's a fair amount of Robusta in there, at least 30%. Let's give this guy a shot. One, two, three, go. All right, what we get out? 16.6. Can that be? That doesn't seem right. 18.0. Okay, good. Now we got it all out. Of course, as you see here, this dosing cup is nice because it does fit exactly an 58 millimeter portafilter. So it's very convenient. Now, this is a new bean and a brand new grinder for me, but I think this is going to be enough. We'll just see if we get anywhere close here to a decent extraction. Now, again, that looks a little on the fine side. Oh, well, let's see. Ready, set, oh, go. I'd say that's a little bit more in the ballpark there. Still not like a perfect puck preparation. With the WDT tool I was using, those needles don't go down all the way to the bottom. So it's not quite as accurate as when you do it on your own manually. But here we go, 30. We're just gonna stop it right there. So 35 seconds and we got 36 out, or twice the ratio. So that's what that coffee looks like right there. And just for fun, I think I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like here on my phone. Give it a little taste too. Let's see how the texture is. Wow, it's really already quite on the sweet side. That's a pretty delicious shot. Good body, so a fair amount of texture on the tongue. And it's already pretty well balanced so that it's sweet without having really, even if I let it linger, no bitter aftertaste. So we're getting pretty close already, which is nice. Now let me show you what the shot looked like. Okay. All right, so I think that is already pretty tasty and good enough for sure that we can turn this into cappuccino. Very nice. Never cannot afford. Let's do that. Now again, with how that shot looked, that's not even really so much attributed to skill. It's just using good coffee beans. So probably the most important thing that I've learned in these last 10 years or so of making espresso is just trying a lot of different beans and finding out which ones are actually good. Because I know how it is. You get tempted to buy the cheaper ones from the supermarket, and once in a while they can be decent. Like Lavazza can be good if it's fresh enough, but a lot of the other ones are just terrible. I've had really bad luck with most other supermarket brands. But if you go for Dinzler, Martra Mula, or in the States, you go for Collectivo, for example, Valentine down there in Milwaukee, there's a lot of good ones. So you saw 70 seconds on there. There's a minute and 10 seconds. So it's not exactly fast. I'd say it's about the same as most thermoblock machines as far as heating up the milk goes, but did provide quite a good power there to make the milk nice and creamy. Now, pouring latte art, on the other hand, that's a kind of a different story. That has for me to do with, oh, a bit of luck. I'm a little inconsistent, or a lot inconsistent. But for a home barista, I'm I'm satisfied enough. So it is one of the fun things though to do is to practice, practice, practice all the time, and then you can make your wifey or your partner, whomever, drink, and when you present them one with little hearts on it, they like that. So let me come show you guys this one. Is that working? No. Gosh dang it. There we go. Thank you for sticking with me. I would do well to hire a cameraman at some point, but if I do it on my own, then I can just be spontaneous. So that's that's what the cappuccino looks like. Mm, and it's good. I mean, you texture some good fresh milk, ideally 3.5% milk. Add some air to kind of inflate the texture a little bit and get that nice and incorporated. You can do that with pretty much any machine. And when you get that down pat, at least, whether you can do latte art or not, it makes for a very tasty, delicious texture. So the espresso mixed together with that nicely textured milk, great success. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. It's time to feed the dog and take her out for a walk. So thank you so much for watching the video, for being with me. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day, watching a live video. And also thank you to MiiCoffee for sending this. I'll be using this. And then we'll give a review at some point. Same thing. Same thing for the 065. Thank you to Eureka for that. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. Until next time, happy coffee drinking, happy espresso drinking. And again, don't forget to give the video a like and check the video description if you want links to any of this stuff. I think to end the video, I'm gonna go get my dog and show you guys. So, this is my doggie right here. This is Lizzie. You may have heard her in the background once in a while barking. Although this is unidirectional, so hopefully you didn't hear too much, but this is my doggie. She's a Maltipoo. That's a Malteser poodle mix, and she's 3.5. And yeah, she's a sweet dog. She got a lot of piss and vinegar in her too. So I'm gonna feed her and take her for a walk. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy. End stream. Bam.